Om Gam Ganapatye Namaha. Kaliyugada Kalpataru, Fourth Delight. Shri Vyasaraja Yati Sarvabhouma. Chapter 33. Shri Vyasaraja Tirtharu in the Royal Court. Shri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's arrival in the splendid capital of Chandragiri, adored with grand forts, majestic temples, towering gopurams, vast royal streets, opulent palaces touching the skies, and the lush gardens showcasing its affluence and grandeur. Without prior intimation, Shri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's arrival captivated the people. A local scholar, recognizing the revered saint, respectfully invited him to his home, where he offered hospitality. That day, Shri Vyasaraja Tirtharu accepted alms at the scholar's home, performing the evening lamp worship, and rested there. Meanwhile, in the royal court of Chandragiri, Narasimha Bhupala presided over a grand assembly of ministers, commanders, scholars, poets, musicians, and citizens. Amidst this illustrious gathering, seated on a resplendent throne, the king was being praised by his courtiers when Bhuvanabandhu, the chief minister, and the royal priest stepped forward. Bowing reverently, he addressed the king, majestic ruler of the Kannada Empire. By the divine grace of Sri Lakshminarayana Yogendra, the venerable Guru and the incarnation of Saraswati, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu has arrived in our capital, following the instructions of his Guru. My lord, the glory of Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu must already be known to you. This great soul, whose fame shines like the sacred Ganga purifying the Himalayas, has graced the home of one of our scholars near the city. We await your command to welcome and bring him to the palace with due honor. Hearing this, Narasimha, filled with curiosity and joy, looked around the court and enthusiastically commanded that Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu be received with utmost respect. He dispatched the royal priest and esteemed officials, accompanied by a honorable delegation, including one of his ministers, to escort the saint. Bhuvanabandhu continued, O great king, the unexpected arrival of this revered sage demonstrates his immense detachment and asceticism. When our Kannada land lay in ruin due to the misrule of Chakraras, it was as if Lord Srinivasa himself sent a divine soul to awaken and rejuvenate the land. The arrival of Sri Lakshminarayana's disciple, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu, is a boon for our empire's prosperity. His miraculous act of reviving a Brahmin boy who had stumbled to a snake bite near a forest close to our capital is already the talk of the town. But this is just a glowing testament to his spiritual prowess. Hearing this miraculous account, Narasimha Bhupala, overwhelmed with awe and reverence, exclaimed, What joyous news you bring, O minister! Truly, my Guru, Sri Lakshminarayana Muni's words are now manifest. I believe Lord Venkateshwara has sent Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu and his representative to uplift Kannada Nadu and all of us. My heart yearns to behold this great saint. To have such a sage as our Guru is indeed the fruit of our past meritorious deeds. At the scholar's home, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu was welcomed with a delegation of priests and dignitaries bearing ceremonial items, accompanied by Vedic chants and musical grandeur. From a distance, the ministers and scholars beheld the radiant sage and bowed deeply, approaching him with reverence. They said, Bhagwan, the Maharaja eagerly seeks your divine blessings. Kindly grace us with your presence. With a serene smile, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu replied, Gladly I shall come. Accompanied by his disciples, the saint made his way to the palace like an incarnation of primordial yogi, radiating spiritual brilliance. As Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's procession neared the palace, the streets lined with citizens resounded with joyous cries of victory to the Guru. Thousands stood on either sides of the royal path, marveling at the saint's divine radiance. When Narasimha Bhupala glimpsed the sage from afar, he leapt from his throne and with excitement and devotion, tying a white cloth around his waist as a sign of humility, he rushed forward with folded hands, prostrated himself at the Guru's feet, his body touching the dust of the ground. Overwhelmed by king's humility, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu blessed him with sandal paste, sacred rice and fruits, which the king received with great devotion, placing them reverently on his head. The king then escorted Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu to magnificent golden throne, seated him with honor, while he himself sat at a respected distance and spoke with folded hands. Bhagavan, it is my great fortune to have your darshan, the fruit of my past good deeds. I have long heard of your divine virtues and earned for this moment. The joy your presence brings surpasses even the bliss of Brahmaloka. Smiling compassionately, Sri Vyasaraju replied, O king, revering and serving ascetics devoted to the meditation of the Supreme Being has been an inherent virtue of your lineage. With your valor and leadership, I foresee the Kannada Empire flourishing. By upholding dharma, administering justice, and protecting the righteousness, you shall bring prosperity to your people. Your might and reputation shall spread far and wide, ensuring peace and harmony. As noon approached, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu gently reminded the king that it was time for his midday worship. Narasimha Bhupala, along with his royal entourage, rose and respectfully bid farewell to the saint. He then dispatched Bhuvanabandhu with an escort to ensure Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's comfortable stay in a grand mansion prepared for him. Later, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu completed his daily ablutions, prayers, and worships, distributed the sacred offering to his disciples. Accepting alms from the scholars and dignitaries present, he spent the evening enlightening the assembly with expositions of the Bhagavata and other scriptures. Thus he illuminated the night with his profound teachings and spiritual presence. Om Hari Om, Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.